On the 2nd of December 1942, a team of scientists led by the physicist Enrico Fermi tested the first man-made nuclear reactor. This reactor was called Chicago Power 1 and was constructed underneath the stands of the University of Chicago's football field. But how does a nuclear reactor work, and how is one designed? To understand how a nuclear reactor works, we first must look at an atom. The atom is the building block of all matter that we see around us. Inside of the atom there is a nucleus, made up of protons and neutrons, surrounded by a cloud of electrons. It is from within the nucleus of the atom where the energy of a nuclear reactor is produced. The energy is released when a large, unstable nucleus separates into two smaller fragments. Energy is released as the binding energy of the product is greater than the original binding energy of the nucleus. It is the difference in these binding energies that is harnessed in the reactor as heat. For example, a uranium-235 nucleus, which is stable, absorbs an extra neutron, making it unstable. The new uranium-236 decays into two lighter nuclei and also releases two free neutrons. These two neutrons may then go on to collide with other uranium-235 nuclei and sustain the reaction. In many nuclear reactors, it is uranium-235 that is used as the fuel source for the reaction. Graphite blocks are often used to control the reaction. The graphite is inserted between the rods to slow the speed of neutrons, and by raising or lowering the fuel rods, you can control the rate of the reaction. The heat produced in the nuclear reactor is used to heat up water into steam. The steam is then used to turn a turbine, and this turbine will produce electricity. The amount of energy produced by 1 kilogram of uranium in a nuclear reactor is much higher than the amount produced by burning 1 kilogram of coal or oil. The amount of energy produced by the uranium in fission is around 2 to 3 million times the amount of energy produced by burning an equivalent mass of coal or oil. Therefore, the amount of waste produced in a nuclear power plant is much smaller than the amount of waste produced in a fossil fuel power plant, as a relatively small amount of material is used at a nuclear power plant. After the fuel source of the reactor has been used up, radioactive waste is left over. This waste can be harmfully radioactive for many hundreds or thousands of years. Waste must therefore be contained in metal barrels to reduce the amount of radiation entering the environment. The barrels are then safely buried before being covered in concrete, in order to make sure that the harmful radiation is all safely absorbed by the ground. Although this process of storing radioactive waste has not always been used, and at one time they just dumped it into the sea. At present, there are 449 nuclear reactors in 30 different countries worldwide. This produce 11% of the world's total power. These power plants can work 24/7 and are integral for many countries as a source of power. And to think it all started from an experiment conducted in a room underneath a football field.